Hi everyone, my name is Xavier Torres. I am doing my interview for the Human Growth and Development class, the Middle Adulthood interview. Um, I want to thank my wife Bianca for doing this for me.
Hi.
Mwah. Um, so are you ready? We can just
I'm
kind
ready.
of jump on in.
Sure.
Okay. So Bianca, how old are you?
I'm 42.
Okay, so 42. That is what's called early middle adulthood, right? Middle adulthood is from 40 to 60. Um, so as we now age, and I know I've kind of maybe talked about this in the past, and our text kind of talks about the changes that happen in midlife, and things like weight gain. A stat that kind of stood out to me is that 14% of people lose their hearing. That's kind of crazy to me. Um, there's menopause, there's andropause, which is loss of testosterone for men. So now that you've kind of entered into middle adulthood, what are some of the visible signs of aging that you've noticed or things that you think are happening?
Well, I would definitely say graying, more graying of my
Okay.
hair. I've started going gray when I was in my early 20s, but now it's definitely it's more. There's
Okay.
a lot more of it.
I know that in the past you were a dancer for well over 20, 25 years. Have you noticed any differences?
Yeah, I still dance, but not as much because it's not as easy on my body anymore. Um, I've noticed more than anything foot pain
Okay.
when I perform or when I dance. So
Okay.
it's definitely something new.
So the next kind of question talks about your family.
Okay.
And basically, I know your family. We've been married now for how long? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I know that there's some medical issues. So
Yes.
the next question kind of deals with family medical issues. So let's talk about kind of your family. What are some of the medical concerns that your families have?
Okay. Well, there's high blood pressure issues, there's heart issues, there's cancer, and most of all, there's diabetes in my family.
Okay.
It's almost everybody has it in my family,
Do you
including
have it?
myself.
You do.
I've had it since I was 39.
Okay. And are you on medication?
I'm on medication. I take oral medication and I take insulin.
Okay. So, knowing all this stuff that does run in your family, are you aware of some of the signs and symptoms about these problems?
I am specifically low blood sugar because that's what I tend to suffer from.
Okay.
I get dizzy, sweaty, um,
Kind of. What do you do when that
lightheadedness.
happens?
Usually I just eat something.
Okay.
Eat something or drink something, maybe some orange juice, something along those lines, and it makes me feel better almost immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next questions kind of deal with cognitive intelligence. And there's certain things as we get older that we get really good at. We're better at talking. We're better with our vocabulary, the words we use. Um, there's also things that we don't, we see declining, like we're good with maybe the words we use, but maybe it takes longer for us to process information. That is the cat right there behind you. She is a brand new addition to the family. She's an old girl that we had to take care of because Bianca's sister is deathly allergic to it. So, so the next question basically is about kind of like cognitive intelligence and since you're now 42, have you kind of noticed any kind of intellectual decline, anything?
Nothing too major, but I think a little bit more forgetfulness.
Okay.
My memory a little bit, I think is suffering a little bit now that I'm getting older.
All right.
But that's about it. I don't feel like anything else has.
That's wonderful for me. um so kind of the next stuff is about relationships, right? And we all have relationships. We all have to deal with people every day of all different kind of types. So what do you think some of the things have changed with the way you deal with people now that you're in this stage of life?
I would say the older I get, the more patient I become with people. I think that when I was younger, I had more of a temper, I would say, and dealing with people wasn't that easy for me.
Okay.
But as I'm getting older, and now that I'm older, I feel like it's totally different for me. I'm just more patient. I know I'm able to deal with people better than I was when I was a younger woman.
Because I know, and the next question kind of leads into this. In the career you do have to have a lot of contact with people.
Right.
So what is your career at this time?
I work in the mortgage industry.
Okay. And kind of what do you do there?
I do all the processing of loans for a mortgage broker.
Okay. And would you say, I know that you've been doing this for quite some time. Would you say that you're happy in this chosen field?
I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah. I do enjoy what I do.
Do you think that you would want to move further, advance in this field, or change?
I am currently working on my loan originator's license in Texas. So that will enable me to possibly start my own business in the future if I choose to do so, and also make more money now.
Absolutely.
At the level I am now.
So what are some of the things you think that now that you're in this stage of life, what are some kind of lifestyle choices you feel like have had a strong impact on your health status? Maybe stuff you used to do, you don't do anymore?
Well, I would say exercising.
Okay.
More so for me was dancing. I did a lot more than I do now. But I think that one thing that I need to change is better eating habits and definitely a regular exercise routine.
Okay. What is that one thing you think that you did that was the most beneficial for you?
I quit smoking.
Yeah.
I quit smoking after around 12 to 13 years of smoking heavily, and I was a heavy smoker too. So it's been about 2 years now.
That's
that
fantastic.
I stopped. Yes.
So that kind of, if you could change one thing in the past, lifestyle choices, and then, would it be the smoking kind of?
Definitely, because I would think that was probably my one bad
habit that you had.
That I had, because I never really was a heavy drinker or anything like
right.
that. So it was always smoking. Smoking was just, I think, the worst thing I ever started doing.
So now that basically we kind of wrap this up, and I know I've joked with you about like midlife crisis now that you're 42, being silly. There's different theories out there. One of the things that kind of stood out for me is, how someone in the middle adulthood, looks back on their life and maybe they don't see themselves where they thought they were gonna be. Do you feel that, you have been dealing with any kind of midlife crisis? Do you think it's something that you will deal with in the future?
I don't feel like I've had a midlife crisis. I can't tell you that I won't. I don't know what's in the future, but as far as right now, I don't feel like I've had a midlife crisis or that I'm going to have a midlife crisis.
Good. Yay. I hope not either. Well, thank you very much, Bianca. Thank you very much for putting up with me and doing this for me. I love you very much.
I love you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.